the past, makeup has been something that I've seen other women do and take pleasure in. Within the last year, it has now become an activity that I find joy in. In the beginning, it was frustrating and felt like a chore. Now, it's another way I pour into myself and my overall look. My next goal is to perfect a glam that enhances my features. Pulling up to a Jill Scott concert, the streets were filled with beautiful people on their way to experience live music. The line was wrapped around the block. Just listen. Jill Scott is an amazing artist. Her smile is so radiant you could see it from any spot in the Fox Theater. Her voice is angelic, it can bring tears to your eyes. When I looked around, all I saw were people dancing and having a good time, genuinely enjoying the show. At first, I didn't understand why it was a no-phone event, but I think I get it now. It allows you to focus on the moment rather than capturing it to show someone else later. Eating balanced meals doesn't stop when you're out of town. These griddle cakes from Trader Joe's are so sweet and so fluffy. The chicken patties are a good source of protein, and then we have some blueberries and kiwi for fiber to start the day. I drove downtown to visit the Village bookstore. They were having an event across the street, so I walked around, did a little shopping, and got some food before I actually made it there. Oh, just hold on, go home. I think what I like about markets and festivals is how unique and special the pieces are. It's a chance for me to support small and Black-owned businesses based on their owners. All of the vendors were so friendly and welcoming. I was out there for an hour or two, but once I started feeling sweat run down my elbow, I had to take it inside. Village Bookstore is a shop that feels like home as soon as you enter. They have books for all readers, including the little ones. When I first got there, I just sat down and enjoyed the AC and the artwork. What I really came for was a t-shirt with a quote on the back. I wanted more than one, but I had to exercise some type of self-control. Truth be told, I really shouldn't be buying any books because I just got a Kindle, but that's neither here or there. What's done is done. Thinking back, I should have picked up The Revelation of Dion Daphne, but it's all right. I loved how easy it was to move about the store. I didn't feel rushed or overwhelmed. If I stayed any longer, I'd probably end up spending more money. I made a pit stop for lunch. Thai Tate was right down the street, and it was delicious. And on the final day, I did a wine tasting at 3 Park Wines on the Beltline. It was the perfect way to close out my trip. I met these two lovely women, and we talked and laughed until the shop closed. Let's do a roundup of everything I bought on my trip. First up, we have Village Books. I mainly went here for a t-shirt with a quote on it, but I ended up getting a few other things. I got 2 greeting cards. The first one says, "Never forget how capable you are." And then the other one says, "To soar toward what's possible, you must leave behind what's comfortable." So both of those really spoke to me. Then I was talking to one of the employees, and he recommended the Vanishing Half. So I told him I was going to take him up on his recommendation, but if it sucked, I was coming back to tell him about himself. I'm just kidding. It says, "The Vine sisters will always be identical, but after growing up together in a small southern Black community and running away at age 16, it's not just the shape of their daily lives that is different as adults. It's everything. Their families, their communities, their racial identities. Many years later, one sister lives with her Black daughter in the same southern town she once tried to escape. The other secretly passes for white, and her white husband knows nothing of her past. Still, although separated by so many miles and just as many lies, the fates of the twins remain intertwined. What will happen to the next generation when their daughters' storylines intersect? Weaving together multiple strands and generations, The Vanishing Half is at once a riveting family story and a brilliant exploration of the American history of passing. Looking well beyond issues of race, it considers the lasting influence of the past as it shapes a person's decisions, desires, and expectations. This was on my TBR at one point. I think I tried to read the first few pages in Barnes and I just wasn't into it, so I put it down. So we're gonna try again. He said it was really good. Let's see if he was right. And then here's the thing that I actually came for. It's a t-shirt with an Audre Lorde quote on it. And the quote says, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." And I felt like that was very fitting for me going on a solo trip, so I just had to have it. Is yellow a color that I would wear? No, but they only had an extra large in the cream, and they didn't have any other ones. So I decided to go for the yellow. Hopefully when I put it on, I'll like it. Then I went to a festival. It was like a food festival, but there were also vendors selling different things, and I got this art print. I feel like it's absolutely beautiful. I love the colors. I love the orange and the blue. I love the vibrancy. So I couldn't leave without it. Then I saw a woman who was selling jewelry, but she also sold skirts and what else did she sell? Skirts and robes. So I got a bracelet for my stack. Was I supposed to be jewelry shopping? No. But did I leave with jewelry anyways? Yes. It's a tennis bracelet, and I tried it on with the bracelets I already wear, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need that. So that was one thing. And then when it came to the robes, they were just so colorful and so beautiful that I had to at least look at them. The one I chose, I picked it because of the colors. I liked most of the colors. The only color that I don't really care for, or the pattern I should say, is this one in the front, but I like all the other ones. So I thought that was really cool that all of them are one of a kind. And then lastly, when I went wine tasting, surprisingly, I really enjoyed the rosé. So that's the one that I went with to bring back home. It's And Why Am I by Mr. Pink. I believe they said it was from Washington State. I really liked it. Not super dry, not super sweet. So that's all that I got. At one point I had to tell myself, stop shopping, you're done. You already bought a lot of things, leave it alone. Now that my wellness weekend has come to an end, I am leaving feeling grateful. I had such a good time doing the things that I wanted, moving at the pace that felt comfortable, exploring the city and trying new things, going a little bit out of my comfort zone. And I will say it was worth it. It was worth the 8-hour drive. It was worth the time that I spent, the gas that I put in my car. I would definitely come back to visit. Not so sure if I would live here because the driving is a bit intense and you have to pay for parking everywhere you go. But to visit, to spend a little bit of time, I could do that. Overall, I'm really, really glad that I came.
When I woke up the next day, it was time to get on the road and head back home. But first, I need some caffeine. So I came to Black Coffee Westside. I love the culture inside of this coffee shop. I wish I visited the spot sooner so that I could sit down and take it in. I wanted to try 2 drinks, so I got a latte and a matcha to go. If you want to go on a solo trip, it doesn't have to be far. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Don't let anyone stop you or convince you otherwise. Your life is to be lived, and you should use it to experience personal joy.
King hates.